At the same time, all kinds of magic emerged in the dungeon. Even the Tauren fell to the ground. The reason why Melissa was so eager. Because when you step into this place, already aware of the breath of the dragon clan, but just then, a strong figure emerged, holding an elf princess in her hand. Let me go. I'm not going with them. But I didn't expect. This time Mr. Orc is really obedient. Fell to the ground. After seeing it, the guard hurried to help. But what he didn't expect was, it was slapped open. I'm not coming with you. I finally met Mr. Orc. I will cherish this opportunity. Many little orc babies. The guard who couldn't stand it stepped forward and grabbed it. Do you want to listen to what you are saying? It's a pity that the elf princess has made up her mind. It uses magic to summon the power of thorns. Keep the guards out. Cold eyes. Instead of being cold, one step further. Our relationship will change from friend to foe. This sentence made the guard unbelievable. Since it will be for the orc, has the princess forgotten her childhood? Is there a friendship of adventure along the way? Definitely not. Definitely. What did that damn orc do to the princess? After learning the truth, the princess became even more excited. I can't wait to become an exclusive weakness immediately when people hear the shameless words of the elf princess. All agree. The green-skinned orcs must have used some method. Because just before they leave, almost everyone has watched it several times. Booklet about the elf princess. It tells what happened. It records the rebellion of the princess from the beginning. Slowly, the heart starts to shake. Eventually, the whole person breaks down. And now the orc appeared in front of them with the princess. Must want them to take a good look. The former princess has now been reduced to, the more the prisoner thinks about the angry crowd. Morale spiked. This is exactly what Langdon wanted. Adventurers swarmed. Reward ugly orcs. From then on, the dungeon returned to its former tranquility. But just as I was about to play dead, Melissa has been silent. Completed group teleportation array. In the next second, everyone was sent away in an instant. And this scene is so familiar. Only one animal and one frog stayed where they were. And then Melissa closes the book. First meeting, Mr. Dragon from the Abyss. My name is Melissa. He is a sage and mage from the human world. Greetings from 9 people representing the truth of magic. The apprentice on the shoulder slammed. Fear of being silenced. I had to poke myself blind on the spot. Poke your own eardrum. The elf princess is also a pair. Clueless. The true identity of the Orcs of Oak has been discovered. It had to be a showdown. Appeared in front of them in human form. Instant smile from the heart. See my essence. Is it hard? Melissa added. Such a strong abyss breath. It is indeed a pure dragon that cannot be purer. But what neither of them expected was, I saw the princess's face turn slightly red. It's actually a legend. A race more energetic than the ORCS? Not just humanoid women, even animal monsters. This led to the spread of sub-dragons across the continent, and every creature taken by the dragon will become pathetic, and enviable meat. Now, Mr. Orc's life is shattered, but it's better to be a dragon rider. Become a ruthless field machine. It was so exciting. Melissa at the play couldn't help complaining. The thoughts of our fairy princess, it's really different from the mainstream concept. Blue Lantern's face sank. He doesn't believe in the wise. Will simply come to save Princess Mary. Sarah doesn't talk too much nonsense, straight to the point, because he wants to refine it. Most require harvesting organs as raw materials, and the most powerful stimulant he has recently developed. It only takes one drop to be incredibly sensitive. One of the most important materials. It was the experience of the dragon. Originally, it was with the idea of slaying dragons. I want to take all of you. But unfortunately, you are not a sage like the other dragons. But the great sage, you can't find a few in the whole continent. Elf Princess, a tap. Almost out of control. Ordinary dragons are already very fierce. This is still a great sage level. Not directly to God. The reason why Melissa is not afraid. Because he knows. Langan didn't want the world to know he existed. After all, he killed a human sage. The eyes of the entire continent will be drawn here. To correct the plot, the orcs are not full of ideas. He actually came up with a plot of self-directing and self-acting. It could even change the way the world thinks about orcs. And the reason for doing this? It's because of the blue light dilemma. Silencing will only lead to more trouble. Do nothing. Even if you obediently hand over your achievements, let Melissa make that powerful reminder. Can't erase the immense impact of kidnapping the princess. It may even affect the diplomatic world of authority. The more you think about it, the more troublesome the blue light breaks the defense in an instant. I don't have it. He posted it all on his own initiative. The clothes are torn by themselves. Handcuffs are on your own. The position is set by yourself. Even the water on the ground flows by itself. Uncle Police, you have to believe me. But even if the blue light does this, it didn't help either. Because in human cognition, orcs are excrement. It has to be as thorough as flushing a toilet. This also made those Wang Zhengyan in the blue light begin to suffer severe pain. Cleaning up women is trouble. But suddenly thought of something. As long as it can completely change all human cognition, isn't it fine? I don't even use magic. Make humans like orcs or dungeon creatures. Not even an abyss dragon like him. This made Melissa curious. If there was such a way, it has long been used by the Holy See kingdoms, and Langan's answer was cultural aggression. Walking is the entertainment route. It's a theatrical performance that uses magic to record images. The plot is easy to understand. Words and deeds compound the public. even farmers working in the countryside. You can see the figure. And you'll be my camera and special effects artist. I'll be the director and screenwriter male lead. This sudden new knowledge. CP dry smoke for 2 people on the spot. But when the fairy princess heard that there was a male lead, there must be a female number 1. So he volunteered. And this time Langdon didn't refuse, because he originally intended to let the elf princess be. After all this mess is caused by him. Being a first woman is an atonement. Just then, Melissa said that since it is a drama, then you have to have a fascinating script. Facing doubts. The blue light shows a calm face. Countless works flashed in my mind. I thought of a name on the spot, elves and orcs. But I also feel that if we want to change the prejudice, you have to add more material. A hodgepodge of elements. Eventually become the headline party, pure and unsullied elf princess, with savage and dirty green-skinned orcs. A long time ago, the elf queen gave birth to a princess. Because of the snow-white skin, so she named it Snow White. But then he was persecuted by his evil stepmother, have to flee the kingdom. Then he was rescued by the ORCS in the dungeon. And this orc is the cursed human prince. She fell in love at first sight in order to change back to the way she was. Have to ask the witch for help. The price is to sacrifice everything you have. It started with fear. Therefore, she won the favor of the princess. Although the human state lasted only 1 night. But it was enough to make the prince happy. Fortunately, after a period of running in, the princess gradually accepts, a beast on the outside, a prince on the inside. Hearing this elf princess, her face turned red. What is a human prince? A body that can be blown away by a gust of wind? How can you compare it to Mr. Orc? But the ending of the story is so tragic. Vicious stepmother, with the help of the magic mirror, found the princess to protect his beloved. The prince resolutely sacrificed his heart. Acquire great power. But in the end, in a handsome human pose, fell into the arms of the princess. It turns out that the reason why it is so big, just because this is the organ for storing magical knowledge. Just now, Blue Lantern, a small story of stitching, really moved everyone. But unfortunately, the story doesn't end well. Obviously, so infatuated Mr. Orc, but was hurt again and again. Even the human sage Melissa herself admits. The excellence of the story, once on the theatrical stage, must change the perception of orcs. And that was it. Shooting started. Mirror, mirror, who is the biggest in the world? But what answered him wasn't the result he wanted. The princess is 1,000 times bigger than you. I was infuriated when I heard this. I'm going to kill him. I am the only woman in the world. Then a loud clap came. The first segment was shot 4 times and finally passed, because Melissa has never been able to find that feeling. There is still someone bigger than me. But this also made the elf princess on the side sullen. Happy to see yourself, Mr. Dragon. Staring at other women for so long, she hurriedly urged that it was her turn. And what happens next is in the flowers. We've got a problem. I want to simulate blue sky and white clouds in the room. Still a little difficult. But the blue light forgot. They have sage special effects artists. Anything an illusion magic can do. The sun is shining today. The princess is playing happily among the flowers. Wanton fiddling with his body. Show a charming smile. As expected of a princess. Doesn't look like acting. But right here is the police. The princess who played the script started to improvise. Another day when I hope to be attacked by Mr. Orc. I really want to be thrown to the ground by Mr. Orc. And as he played the blue lantern. He couldn't stand it. He immediately yelled. What I want is your daily state in the elf kingdom. The elf princess looked disdainful after hearing it, because this was her normal routine. Then, under the extreme restraint of the princess, finally recorded. Just inject a little magic into the crystal ball. You can put the picture in mid-air.